Hey everybody, this is Phillip from Candid at the Movies, and this is my inaugural top 10 for movies of 2025. Now, I know Joe have submitted his list and Travis has submitted his list, and mine might be a little different from theirs because I didn't see everything that they saw. We saw some movies together, but I didn't see everything that they saw, so my list will probably vary from what theirs are. So with that, we're gonna jump right into it. And number 10 on the list is Captain America: Brave New World. Y'all know me, I'm the Marvel guy, and I do lead Marvel versus DC. I know a lot of people hated on Captain America because they felt like they wasted the Red Hulk and whatnot. I didn't hate on it because I was glad to finally see Anthony Mackie get a main role as Captain America in a movie. That's what I was excited to see, and I think he did a pretty decent job as coming across as Captain America. They could have done a little bit more with the Red Hulk, but you only got a couple hours to tell these stories. Some stuff has to get cut, and I'm not saying it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, because it is number 10. But I liked it, and I liked Anthony Mackie's job of playing Captain America. So, number 9, we're going to go with the final installment of Mission Impossible. It was a good movie, but it was really long. And like I said in the review that we did for it, they show you what needs to be done. Then they go back and show you everything Tom Cruise had to do to get it done. And after that, you start feeling them 3 hours worth of movie sitting in that chair, and it's like, okay, can we get to the end of it? Don't get me wrong, it was action-packed, and I think they did a decent job of closing the door on the story, but of course, Hollywood, y'all gonna bring the money. We'll figure out a way to keep the story going. So if y'all gonna bring the money, we might come up with something. Next on the list, number 8, you got Zootopia 2. I thought this was a pretty decent family film for the year. That and Bad Guys 2, they were pretty decent family movies. I took the whole family to go see it, and everybody enjoyed themselves. The kids liked it, and I think they did a pretty decent job with the story of it. But most importantly, it was a good family time for all. Number 7, I got Sarah's Oil. It was basically a history lesson about this young girl who inherited some land as payback from the government, people being moved off their land out west. So the land she got just happened to be oil rich, and she got some oil companies trying to con her out of it. She figures out a way to get to the oil and actually manages to keep the land and profit off of it. And to me, it was a good movie to show little kids, even though you're young, there's still a lot you can accomplish even though you're young. And especially if you're on the side of right, you can get a lot accomplished. So I didn't know a whole lot about the story before I saw it. So, it kind of opened my eyes a little bit to some of that history. So I thought it was a real decent movie to go see. And it'll teach you a couple things while you're watching it. Number 6, one that's in Travis's wheelhouse. Number 6, Superman. Yes, this iteration of Superman. They actually did a decent job of bringing Superman back and telling a story that was worthwhile. Crypto showed up in it, and it's going to lead into Supergirl coming this year. But I thought James Gunn did a real decent job of bringing Superman back and starting his universe with that. David Cornsweet playing Superman, he did a real decent job, but it is rare that you see a movie where Superman gets his behind whooped. And that's kind of how they started out the movie. And it's like, that ain't what we used to see from the Son of Krypton. But, as the story goes along, you figure out what's going on and you figure out how that happens. And, they did a good job of putting that together. So that's my number 6 right there. Number 5, we're going to look at Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four gave me some hope for the Marvel Universe going into Avengers Doomsday this year. And it's actually an iteration of the Fantastic Four that looks like it's finally going to work. They had a decent story in place. Probably the only knock that we would give Fantastic Four would be Galactus' screen time. We could have used a little more Galactus in the movie. But other than that, I was pleased with it. And after sitting through Thunderbolts, which was the bridge to somewhere, I still ain't figured out where. Fantastic Four, like I said, renewed my faith in things to come with Avengers Doomsday. And now that I've seen a couple trailers and it looks like Professor X's boys is going to make an appearance. So we might be in for something. We going to see. Number 4, that's going to be Ballerina from the John Wick universe. For those action aficionados, this gave you exactly what you wanted. Shoot 'em up. And like I say, in the original review, if you remember playing Contra, point and shoot. And that's what old girl was doing. She was taking them out left and right. Of course, Keanu Reeves made appearance in the movie as John Wick, so gave you all the action that you could hope for. So until John Wick 5. It's the bridge to John Wick 5 that you didn't know you was waiting for. And you will probably see Ana de Armas repeat her role as ballerina sometime in the future. I don't think they're gonna let that go to waste, because I think the movie did pretty decent at the box office. And anytime they think they can make money, again, they will figure out a way to get you a new story. So with that, number 3, we're gonna go to one of my favorite series, Final Destination Bloodlines. I like the carnage. They found some new ways to kill some folks. You know, Death and that penny that Death used. Boy, did they do their thing in that movie. Just when you thought you were gonna get away, oh, bruh, I got you. And even if you wasn't on Death's list, if you got in Death's way, okay, you won't get out of my way, I'm gonna move you. Done. So for those people who like the Final Destination series, you will like this one. It is a worthy movie in the series of Final Destination movies. Of course, we still love that car crash scene in the beginning of the second one. That's top dog. Still have yet to beat that. But this was a decent film to go into the series. That's my number 3. Number 2, we're gonna give the second slot to Sinners with Michael B. Jordan in the game. And he did a real good job in playing a dual role, playing twins. So you were able to see the differences between the characters and not just think, oh, he's just playing himself twice. Nah, he gave them some range. So he did a very good job in this movie, along with Haley Steinfeld and Miles Caton. And what I recently learned about Miles Caton is I had no idea that some of his singing was hereditary. Because for those of you in the gospel world, if you are familiar with Hezekiah Walker's Love Fellowship Choir, you will know that there was a woman by the name of Timothy Figaro who sang lead on a couple of Hezekiah Walker's songs. This is her son. So I was surprised to find that out. Yeah, he did a real good job playing a young actor in this one, and seeing the previews and not knowing what the whole story was going to be about beforehand, it was nice that they didn't give that away. So you got in there, saw the movie, and then when you realized it was vampires, it's like, uh-oh, how they gonna do this? Because everybody ain't gonna make it out alive. So, but yes, this was a very good movie. It touched on a lot of stuff, a lot of religious stuff, a lot of hoodoo stuff. It was a great acting job by the whole cast and crew. So with that, we're gonna get to my number 1. I'm gonna have to go with Predator's Badlands. That's the one this year that I went into and I was just like, wow. Because we know the Predators, they do their things, they hunt, but this one not only hunted, he was being hunted. So to see him get his behind whooped a little bit, but then come out on top, and man, the stuff that they had him facing, oh my God. These creatures, I don't know where they came from, but yeah, they was top dog on their planet, especially the one that they was trying to catch. And by sheer stroke of luck, the Predator, he managed to survive going up against this creature. Now, like I said, when he first got to the planet, boy, it was like South Central. They jacked him for everything he had. So it had a lot of action. I was just impressed because I wasn't expecting that from a Predator movie this far into the series. Elle Fanning, she did a real good job playing dual role in this movie as well. So, she helped Predator along his journey, and she also played person on the opposite team who was trying to catch him and keep him from getting to his prey. So yeah, she did a real good job acting in the movie. And then of course at the end, the Predator finally comes into his own, and they left the door open to see what happens after his last kill. So there very well may be a sequel to it. We don't know, but like I say, with Hollywood, if y'all spend the money, they'll figure out how to keep the story going. So we will see. And with that, that's my top 10 of the year of 2025. Please hit that like, subscribe, and share at the bottom. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like I said, I know my list is different from Joe and different from Trav, but I didn't want to include anything that I did not see. So that's where the differences come in with my list and their list. Everything on their list they saw, so I'm not implying that they're cheating. They're not cheating, just I didn't see everything that they saw. So, but with that, make sure you hit that Pop Stars Popcorn, get all the flavors. Check out Joe and Nate's Wrestle Twins podcast. It's 2026, so we looking at Mitch to get back on the sleep at the movies. And I have pitched something to Travis. We might have something new coming for you very soon. So y'all stay tuned, and we'll catch you next time. This is Phillip for Candid at the Movies. Y'all have a good evening. Peace.